Hello, Internet. I'm Insane Lane as well as a Canadian girl, and we have an interesting one today. I've only seen the first 15 seconds of this. It was sent to me by a few people. The title is extremely long, and it says Angry Cop Loses It, Goes on a Crazy Car Chase with Wild Psycho Woman. When caught, she acts dumb. It doesn't even fit all on the screen. I'm amazed. There's no way it's going to fit within the YouTube title, so there's going to be a shortened version. Anytime I have a shortened version of the title, it's because there is a limit on the character count for a title, and sometimes I have to shorten it. But this one looks like it gets spicy. It's long, so buckle in. Let's go. Whoa, whoa. Oh, okay, that right there.
The cat was threatened.
Do I even need to say that you as a cop should not be ramming into a car that has stopped and that someone is getting out of? Though the way this woman was driving over the hill, man. Oh, I really hope she's okay. Like seriously, like all things aside, I never want to see anybody get hurt. Threatened a cat?
On April 2nd, 2023, the Davenport Police Department received an urgent 911 call from a distressed woman. The caller's voice was panicked as she demanded the immediate presence of police, fire, and paramedics at her residence. Her tone and urgency left no room for doubt, prompting the dispatcher to escalate the response. Multiple emergency units were dispatched to the scene, with officers unaware of the strange and chaotic series of events about to unfold.
Okay. Okay, so they're trying to do the pit thing. It's like, didn't quite work.
As the officers arrived at the residence, they were confused.
I think she didn't quite hit it hard enough.
The caller, a woman later identified as Emily, was present but incoherent. She appeared agitated and emotionally unstable, making it difficult for the officers to ascertain the nature of the emergency. Her responses were fragmented and unclear when asked why she had called for help, creating a tense and unpredictable atmosphere.
30723. Hi there. You the one who called us? So what's happening?
So she called them?
What's that? I can't hear you. Did you call for the fire department and the police? The ambulance? And why? Why'd you call? What's going on?
Yeah.
Okay, stop right there, please.
Get out of the car, please, Emily. Get out of the car.
Right, send me one more. I'm not really sure what's happening.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Whose car is it?
Why you called?
Just turn the car off for a second.
While the officers attempted to communicate with her, Emily retrieved a baseball bat. Her
Oh no.
actions escalated the situation, forcing officers to demand that she put the bat down. Despite repeated commands, she refused to comply. Moments later, she threw the bat in the direction of the officers. This act startled the officers, but before they could fully react, Emily entered her vehicle, adding another layer of danger to the unfolding scene. Emily reached for a pair of scissors inside the vehicle, further alarming the officers. She ignored commands to turn off the vehicle and instead started the engine. Her unpredictable behavior quickly escalated into an active threat as she attempted to drive away.
Turn the car off. It's all right.
Okay, I'm going to start skipping the narration if it's going to repeat, but I don't know if this is being read by a real person or AI. They can be pretty legit sounding, but the way it said 911 and now it's saying she got in the car after she's already in the car, like, yeah, if this is AI, it needs work. If this is an actual narrator, you should have read your script more carefully because you're making mistakes. But throwing the bat at them, like...
Put that down. Put that down right now. Right away, put it down. Put it down. Put it down. Put the baseball bat down. Put it down.
Okay, metal bat will do some harm.
Drop it. 9 copy. Robert, 6 Adam, Ocean, David.
Okay, I am glad that this cop is
Back away
being...
from the car!
restrained because I've definitely seen lesser circumstances where a cop just pulls out their gun and ends someone for much less than this. Much, much, much less. The woman is actively posing a threat.
She's got a pair of
She's
scissors in
throwing
there, too.
things.
I'm not really sure
She
what's
could harm
happening.
herself.
She tried to hit-
She's
throw a
in
baseball bat at
control
me.
of a vehicle that could
Can you
seriously
back
injure
up,
or
go
kill.
inside? She's in front of the house.
I'm assuming the person trying to talk to her is like a relative. I don't know if it's her mom or maybe a sister or something. I can't get a good look at her. But I don't blame this cop for backing away, keeping his distance. That's exactly the right thing to do. He is by himself. He's got no backup. He's got no support right now. This woman is actively being violent. And again, she's in control of a car. She decides to back up and run over him, you know. So yeah, him getting safe distance, exactly the right thing to do. And thank you for not being overly aggressive and shooting her.
House right now, kind of hemmed in by the fire truck and
Fire
the
truck there?
ambulance.
Yeah, I still don't know what's going on. Is she having
Up front.
a mental
Fire
episode?
trucks and ambulances positioned at the scene
drugs?
blocked her fighters guard for and even
Hey,
Watch out! Watch out! Watch out!
Oh, is she gonna hit the house? Okay, so she's just driving completely erratically.
She's northbound, kind of through
And
the
they-
yard at this point.
She's not stopping, so they can't put the spikes in front of her. And now they're in a full-on chase through actual streets. This is not good.
Am I good to stay with it?
Negative. We don't have anything here. I'm not really sure what's happening.
Okay, interesting point there. Two things. One, good on the cop for he's calling in, checking in as he's pursuing. He is saying, here's where I am, here's the conditions. Am I okay to continue? Because there are definitely conditions in which they end a chase. It doesn't matter. It gets too dangerous. Now the chase is creating more harm than the person fleeing, and it's only going to end badly. So they get called off from time to time. In some places, I'm not sure every state has that protocol. This one clearly does. Where did they say we were? I don't know what state we're in yet, and I forget what city now. Sorry, but he's being called off because what is going on? The cops are still like, wait, what is going on? Why are we here? What? Why is somebody calling? Something is clearly wrong, but how do you handle it when they haven't talked to anybody? They don't have anybody complaining of anything. Well, I can say they did see her commit a few crimes. Throwing a bat at a cop would certainly count, but they're just very confused right now.
Robert 6 Adam. Ocean David Mary. We're at 11th and College. She's gonna continue northbound on College. I'll pull over.
Okay,
the
so
situation at home
yep,
had
he got
escalated to the
called
point
off
where her
and-
mother considered having her committed. However,
this is mental
before
health.
anything could be done, Emily left the house, leading to the events of that parade.
From Arizona. And it's like somebody
Okay, so that's
put
his mother.
something in her head that she
We're at
has to
11th
be
and College.
sacrificed.
You northbound on College.
Gonna re-sacrifice
pull over.
herself for a nicer soul.
You haven't stayed on that flight yet?
And
I think it's Arizona. Her mom's just said she
And
can come back
she's
from
a
Arizona. Can you
brilliant-
just talk to me, please?
sure,
Who are you talking to there?
my brother.
Can you just hang that up so we know what's going on, please?
I just got off from pneumonia. Can you come in?
Sure.
Okay,
Do you need medical attention then?
No,
so this is
Called and said
mom.
that You needed
No.
medical attention.
no.
Holy
Watch out,
shit.
she might be coming back towards you.
She is a brilliant girl.
I don't have eyes.
I
10-4. Give me
just
one
got
more here
back
at the apartment then.
from the hospital.
So what's going on?
Put her on Adderall. And she is a smart girl.
What's
Why they put her on Adderall?
They need something if he's trying to run people off.
Yeah, that's-
Cars from a baseball bat. I think what they're pursuing.
No.
At one point, she drove through yard as she was going down.
Yeah, we'll see it in a minute. I don't need to be told.
It's coming back westbound, I believe. Yep, westbound on 12th Street. with it.
Okay, so they're trying to keep tabs on her, but without actively causing a chase. Now we're kind of chasing her again.
Yeah, we
She's
have it again.
erratically driving around the neighborhood.
Hey, make sure you clear the area up there. To come with them. She turned off her headlights. We're southbound on Mississippi from 12.
So dangerous.
Looked like she was the sole occupant. I will have radio.
Nope, trying to do the pit thing and miss. Oh, just missed.
Eastbound 12.
Trying again for the pit. And not quite.
Northbound Mississippi from 12.
Okay, they're going so fast right now. Like, there is nothing safe about this. I think her car is starting to break down.
Victim number 3.
On the wrong side of the road. Okay, how long is this chase? Like, this is a lot. They are covering, like, some for real distance around this town. Like, very lucky that there is, like, no one else on these roads.
Northbound on Forest.
Like, by now the entire neighborhood has to be aware of what's going on. Oh, nope. Harder than it looks.
No.
Okay, I will say I do wonder if this cop is possibly a bit junior because they've tried 4, possibly 5 times to pit this car and have been unsuccessful. Now, that's not always entirely on the person driving or on the training, but he does seem to be hesitating. He's not, the 2 times that he's made contact, he didn't hit it hard enough to spin it out because that's the point of a pit maneuver. You clip the back corner of the car, it makes it spin out, hopefully into a ditch safely, and makes the car come to a stop. That's the plan. Does it always work that way? No. Are there times where doing a pit maneuver is the wrong move? Absolutely. The only reason that they are probably being allowed to do it here is there is 0 other cars. And if you'll notice, he's only trying to do it when there is literally 0 traffic, 0 cars. So when she spins and goes up on the sidewalk, she's not going to hit anyone. But I do think the cop is hesitating a little bit, which might be inexperience. He's not exactly sure how hard you got to hit to make it spin. The other issue is if you hit too hard, you can cause a rollover, which can always lead to serious injury or fatality. So there's that concern as well, which is why some places will use pit maneuver tactic, some places will not. It's, it's up to that area.
It's from 50 Northbound to Central Park. Northbound Forest Retrieve. It's about 50. Northbound on Forest to Fairhaven.
Oh! Ow!
And she's driving through a yard.
That just looked painful. Oh, big ditch.
Bike path, she's about to bail.
Uh-oh.
Still driving. Eastbound on this bike path.
Okay, now she's stopped. Whoa, not okay. Okay, not okay. Whoa, okay. Whoa. This has crossed a line now. Now, the cop has said his car is clearly smoking. He said his battery is about to fail, so his car is dying. However, he just rammed into a stopped car twice. The second time while she was climbing out of it. He could have very seriously injured her. This is absolutely not okay. What I would have had him do, A, never ram into a car that has stopped, and he's only hitting it from behind. That's not going to do anything. He's not trying to pit it. He's not trying to disable the car. He's just ramming it from behind. That's not going to do any good. And especially the second time where she's visibly getting out of the car and he rams into it, that is absolutely endangering her life. No question. And this cop needs to face disciplinary action for doing that because that is absolutely unacceptable. And I don't care if you're angry at her because you've been chasing her all over town for the last hour. The cop still has to be professional and does have to keep her safety first and foremost. Not at the expense of his own life. Don't think I'm going that far. But he had no reason to do this. And what would have been probably the better move, because she had stopped, is to pull alongside and partially in front so she can't move. Or you can block her in the car. There were better ways to handle this. And oh yeah, the fact that he hit it when she was getting out, that's just no. Hopefully that's the worst of the angry cop loses it segment. Whoa!
As soon as her vehicle was immobilized,
oh my God, that
officers
other cop car just almost ran her over. Oh, okay, so he just run up and tackle her. It works. Okay, so they've got her. Oh, all of a sudden there's so many. They had so many cars chasing this girl.
Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back. Get that on.
I wouldn't be expecting a lot of compliance here.
Knock it off.
Okay, to the cops saying knock it off, give me a break. Anyone who's being treated like this is going to react, so don't give me the knock it off crap. Like, how do you think you would react? And also, I don't know how many of the cops are aware of this because only one of them has talked to the mother. I don't know if he's had a chance to relay to the others, but we're told this is a mental health crisis. You cannot expect normal, rational behavior from this woman right now. Now, I don't know how much training in dealing with mental health issues these cops have. Some cops have some, not nearly enough. Not that dealing with that should really be their problem most of the time. But the fact is, it is their problem a lot of the time. So if they're going to be regularly encountering it and dealing with it, cops need a lot better training when it comes to mental health. And him saying knock it off is a prime example of either a lack of training or an officer who should not be assigned to this call.
Clear the sleeve. Get the sleeve out of the way. Sleeve's in there. It's in there now. Well, hey, just relax. You're okay. Cuff is, get that cuff. Get me that. Get me that. All right, she's in cuff. She's good. All right, let's go ahead and we're gonna work to get you up. Okay, you gotta listen to me. Okay. Keep a light on in case I go knife or something. Keep a light over her. Lay on your left side. Roll over to your left side.
Okay, the cop that's talking now is doing a good job.
For a second. Where's that knife at?
Oh, did she have a knife when they tackled her?
Or where's those scissors at, yeah? Just talk with me. All right, we're going to work on getting you to stand up, okay? Okay, all right, so go ahead. Let's get you sitting up, okay? Okay. Now get one leg up here, okay? Bend your knee. All right, there you go. Stand. 1, 2, 3, up. go. You got it. Let's see. Is this me
Davenport,
here?
that's where we are.
Oh no.
Is that in Carolina? North Carolina?
Just relax, okay? Don't move, okay? Now, I don't know if it. Did we locate those scissors, do you know?
Maybe it's Louisiana.
You're okay. You have any scissors on you? Don't move around. Just face up towards the car, okay? Get your foot off of mine. I appreciate that.
Okay, so making sure she doesn't
Let me
have a
double lock.
weapon.
Don't move. Go.
Take a seat in the car.
Hop in here, okay?
Sit down, please. Sit down, relax.
Get that foot up in there. Get your foot in there. Nope. Don't get out.
In the car.
Sit in the car. Okay? Everything's okay. Sit in the car.
Okay, so they're doing a good job getting her in the car. Thank you for the seatbelt.
Keep that foot inside, okay? Keep that foot inside. I don't believe she's double locked. Unless someone else was able.
We'll deal with that.
Yeah, don't open the door right now.
What'd you say? Your mom? I think she's at home.
Mm-hmm.
Just hang out. You're okay.
After her arrest, officers transported her to a hospital for evaluation. Her Arizona incident.
This is Emily here. This is
10
before
she
she left,
drove at fire, she drove at me, and then she
This is
went up over
before
the curb
she-
and left.
left for Arizona. I mean, she's a brilliant girl.
So what's her name? What's happened?
I don't know, except the girl. I think
I mean,
they
take enough of it.
Emily Lynn Huber. And her
Huber?
Yes.
What's her middle initial?
L.
And what's her birthday? Where does she stay at then?
She's staying right here right now.
All right.
She just got back from Arizona.
It's coming back west down, I believe.
Because I
Yep,
was in
west down on
hospital.
east, on 12th from Eastern. Can I get with it?
Oh,
What's your name? Tell me what happened. How did this start?
Lights are off.
I can't. She started shaking really bad.
Yeah.
Westbound.
And I said, Emily, I'm going to call.
North on College.
Let's have you committed. Let's have you seen what's
Look
wrong,
like she was
what's
a
going
block.
on.
I will have
And
radio.
I told her my story this morning.
Yeah.
I talked to her about how I've been sober and
I'm going to attempt to hit here.
anything.
And she was chasing the cat?
She chased my cat around with a bat,
Eastbound 12.
and she said he needed to be sacrificed. And then she said, "Can I sacrifice you?" I said, "Hell no."
Okay.
And
All right. Well, here's the
Yeah.
thing. She's right.
Okay, the mother is right. This woman needs to be committed if she is acting that way. Now, the question becomes, is she acting that way because of purely mental illness, or is she acting that way because of drugs? Because the mom said she's got a bottle of Adderall, which again, not usually prescribed to adults, usually prescribed to overactive children, and often scammed by college students to stay awake. And let's not pretend that's not a fact. Also, med students extensively. I've known several that fully admit to absolutely using Adderall and whatever else they could to get through med school with absolutely no shame about admitting it because they're like, everybody knows. Of course the admin knows. Of course the system knows. It's the only way it works. So this creates a problem though, because if she is either abusing the Adderall or abusing anything else, most mental health facilities won't take her because they will say we don't treat drug addicts. And it doesn't matter whether she actually is a drug addict or if this is a one-time event. She could have been prescribed the Adderall for whatever reason, started taking it and be having an adverse reaction. Adverse reactions to medications often, very often, look like a mental health breakdown because they are. It's something that is adversely affecting your brain in a way that is not supposed to. So, yeah, that's going to cause erratic, irrational, bizarre looking to other people behavior and thoughts. That's what it does. I've had times where I've been A on psych meds and B on the wrong psych meds. So I know exactly what it feels like when they are not working properly or when they go extremely wrong. Because I've had meds I had to be taken off of in very short order because they just, yeah, I got very bad side effects that absolutely made me look insane in ways that I never ever have at other times and things that have never happened again. So, not sure what is causing this, but it sounds like she went away somewhere. She has come back and now she is worse. So, I'm not, I wish the mom would clarify, like, does she have a diagnosed mental illness or is this whole episode only been since she came back? Because that would clarify things. But the way she's acting, being violent, being obviously completely erratic, and having no sense of self preservation, she's absolutely a danger to herself and others, 100%. She does need to be committed and in a psych ward. Absolutely no question of it.
Lock this door, please.
Northbound with the 1512. Still going.
What's that?
Is everybody injured there?
Negative. She was 10-2. There was just some sort of mental breakdown she had.
Did she assault anybody else there besides you and the fire guys?
Negative. It was just me and fire. Maybe one. She was kind of driving at him too. Mom was threatened. The cat was threatened. But other than that, everybody's 10-2.
What's your name?
8
Is it just with one L?
16 hour force.
ILY? Yeah. And then what's
17. Test force. 10-2.
Okay, not sure what's with the red light. Yeah, please tell me they have paramedics there for her.
The old guy that the yard got driven through, he's freaking out over there.
Oh,
There? Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
yeah.
He did some yelling at me. Where does she go?
She's on her way to jail. Yeah, they're taking her up to just the main road
Okay.
there.
Why are they taking her to the hospital?
So I talked to Mom. Mom says she's in Arizona. They changed her meds or something.
There it
She's
is.
on Advil. Today she started acting weird. Takes a baseball bat and starts chasing a baseball,
George Washington
the cat around the house with a baseball bat,
Cat, like a feline.
saying it needed to be sacrificed to something or other. Then tells Mom she thinks she needs to sacrifice Mom. Then she leaves and calls 911. So I pull up. She pulls up and I was like, hey, what's going on? And she's just sitting in there, 1,000-yard stare in the seat. And I go, did you call 911? Police, fire? And then all of a sudden her hands start shaking. She leans over and picks up a baseball bat. I'm like, drop the bat. Drop the bat. And I shine the lighter in her face and she throws the bat at me, puts the car in gear, drives forward a little bit, puts it in reverse. Well, fire is behind them.
17.
She drives backwards right at fire. I'm screaming, get out of the street, get out of the street. Then she pulls forward. He's there. She starts driving back at him. Then she backs up. She's looking at me, and I'm like, oh shit, she might be coming back at me. And then she drove up through the yard and left. Yes, that is.
Okay, so if he keeps recapping, I'll skip ahead, but critical information there. The mom said she left, she went to Arizona. I looked it up. Davenport is in Iowa, so Arizona's not too far. It is not uncommon that people will go from one state to another for any kind of health care, especially mental health treatment, because it is so sparse. It is hard to get, and especially if you have a specific condition that requires a doctor that is specifically trained in that condition rather than just a general psychiatrist, yeah, you can wind up going pretty far to find one because people that do that extra training to specialize in either ADHD or schizophrenia or bipolar or whatever, they're going to be hard to find. They're going to have very long wait lists. This is America, they're going to be really expensive. But the crucial thing is the mom said she went there and they changed her meds. And then she came home and is acting like this. And the physical shaking, that is bad drugs all day. And just because something is prescribed doesn't mean it's not drugs. It's still drugs. Still has risks, still can be dangerous. And doctors often know very little about the drugs they're prescribing, which is why you should ask questions. Especially if it's something you've never taken before, ask, what are the possible side effects? What should I watch out for? How long does this take to become active? Because some drugs, you got to take them for several weeks before they start having any effect at all. Birth control, primary one, you have to take it for a month before it actually is active. Most psych meds take 3 to 6 weeks before they start working. And doctors never tell people this, so people take them for 2 weeks, go, this isn't working, and demand to go on something else, or the doctor doesn't know. And they go, after a month, this isn't working, I'm switching your meds. And it's like, you got to give it a chance. You have to know what you're doing. And fact is, most doctors have no clue what they're doing when it comes to psych meds. I really don't think family doctors should be allowed to prescribe psych meds. You should have to have a job with the word psych in it to prescribe psych meds, because that would imply at least somewhat that you are trained on these medications and know what you're doing. And you're not, even though you're a GP, you're not going on WebMD or the NHS database and looking up like, oh, like my client needs mood, or my patient needs something to mood stabilize. What's the top mood stabilizer? Oh, there's one. Let's throw her on that. I know nothing about it, but here, there's way too much of that. But yeah, to me, like, I do think she has underlying mental health conditions, obviously, but this sounds like bad reaction to meds.
All right, I'll go talk.
At least that set this off.
He's a handful. All right. Okay.
Because the other thing is, I didn't hear the mom saying that she'd ever acted like this
No,
before.
got her right there. Turn it on to 12th again. I'm like, oh, pin her, and you didn't. I'm like, okay, and she gone.
Like all sitting
Okay,
something like
we can trade the recap later.
So Emily,
Did you hear this?
where
See if they need my input since I know. So
where
she
we were there.
okay.
Yeah.
That's
Were you
cool,
okay,
fuck.
by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. So Emily,
Did you hear the story from mom though?
No. Give us 1 second, Emily.
So she just came back from Arizona. She is taking Adderall now. I don't know why I would do this because my kid takes it, but she said she's taking Adderall now. And this morning or today sometime, she's there. She picks up a baseball bat. She's chasing the cat around the house with a baseball bat, saying she has to kill it and sacrifice it to something or other. Then starts threatening mom, telling mom she's got to kill mom and make her a sacrifice. So when I show up, I was like, hey, what did you call us for? She's just got a 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah.
And I go, what's going on? And her hands start shaking, leans over and picks up this baseball bat. I don't know if you heard me, I threw it.
Yeah. Like sacrifice then,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Okay.
So at some point,
And then, did she get in an accident at all?
a couple times, I believe.
She did. Not sure. I wasn't. And then the further pursuit, I was calling behind.
Yeah, I was still with mom.
Was that her vehicle? The car's kind of messed up. It's down.
No, it's down in the gully. She jumped over
drove
stuff,
down,
crashed
down
into
the
stuff.
road.
Yeah, the car's probably not going to be drivable.
Oh, I wish I'd been her.
Yep.
Dude, the baseball bat, I was cool. I wasn't going to shoot her for the baseball bat, but then she leaned over and picked up a, like scissors, like from your kitchen drawer scissors. And she leaned over, picked those up, and kind of looked at me, and I was like, oh, shit. Started to back up. Oh, here it comes.
Okay, so he's saying
Like, if
like
that door came open, I might shoot you.
Yeah,
I didn't know
and
you guys.
okay, so again, the cop is saying exactly what I was thinking. He definitely had in mind, like, she opens that door, she runs at me with the scissors, I'm reaching for my gun, which understandable, but Fortunately, A, she did not open the door, and B, he had the good sense to back up. So rather than standing there and waiting to see if she's going to attack him and making himself a nice visible target that's 2 feet away, he backed up to across the street. Okay, he de-escalated that situation and kept himself safe because he didn't want to shoot her. And there was no reason that it should have ever gone that way, even if she opened the door. Because, as we saw, he had the option to back up and get away from her. And he did. So this guy is A+ with gold stars, except for ramming into her car. If it's the same cop, I'm having trouble keeping track. There's about 1 billion cops in this video.
I realized it, but I was like, oh God, watch out, she's backing out, because I was like, she had that look in her eye, like, well, then that was like, it was killed because the mom was out there, and like, she's trying to get in the car, the girl's got scissors. Holy shit, go inside.
Wait, why are we... Okay, they're putting her in the ambulance. That's where she needs to be. Like, she needs a hospital.
Have we asked if we can go through her car at all? You know?
Hey, Emily, do you have anything that is in your car that you know of that's you're not supposed to have? Are you okay with us searching that or no?
Is it even her car?
You're okay with us searching that?
Yeah, I don't.
Unless they're up. 17 from 10. No, 17.
What's that?
You good?
Yeah.
You sound like you almost got stabbed.
No. But like, she threw the baseball bat at me, and then she leaned over, and I was like to here from the car. She threw the baseball bat at me, and I picked it up and threw it away. And I figured, all right, we're cool right now. And I said, shut off the car. She leaned over and was like, shh. So I'm like right here with the scissors drawn. I'm like, holy f-. I start drawing her. Mother's like, don't shoot her, don't shoot her. And I'm like, if she opens
Mom
that
knew
door,
what's
she's
what.
probably gonna get shot. And then all of a sudden, like, she realized she had the car, so she drove right at the ambulance, backed up, almost drove over the fireman. I'm screaming at the fireman, like, look out, look out. And then she's looking at me, and she starts driving forward again. Hogan's running down the street while she's driving all the around, so I start yelling at him, like, look out, dude, get out of the fucking way. She's probably going to try to run you over. And then she drove through her yard and left. Yeah. It sounded like one of those, like...
Okay, so it sounds like he is not the cop that
I looked at it.
ran into her.
Well, I looked at it, and I was like, well, she said she wanted PD. Like, I don't know what we got. Like, I'll show up. I don't like medic and fire showing up to something that we need to be there for, and it goes sideways for them. Well, they disregarded the call earlier.
At the hospital, Emily remained under medical care for 8 days.
Wait, whoa.
Reports suggest she underwent.
Whoa, I want to hear that again.
At the hospital.
Be there for, and it goes sideways for them. Well, they disregarded the call earlier.
Okay, that's interesting. So it sounds like there was more than one call to 911, whether it was from Emily or from her mother. It sounds like somebody called for paramedics, at least, because she's clearly having a medical episode. A mental health crisis is a medical episode. And they disregarded the call? I'm not okay with this. I understand that if it was, especially if it's her calling, she probably sounded very erratic. She probably was not making a lot of sense. But this just tells you something is wrong. And you should go there and see what is going on, because clearly there is a problem. There is a situation. And anytime somebody is calling for paramedics, like how do you ignore that? How do you disregard and ignore that? And I'm reminding myself that that again, we're in America and things are different, so they don't always have 911 operators don't always have the ability to see where you're calling from. It's a big thing in the States that I don't know why, because the technology's been there forever, and we have it here. Like here, if I call 911, if I call 911 on my cell phone, the second that I hit dial, my phone screen will lock out. I cannot hang up this phone because once it's connected to 911, it will not turn off. I can hold the power button as long as I want. It's not going to turn off. Short of removing the battery, my phone's not going to turn off. Only 911 can disconnect a call from their side. And they know exactly where I am. They can see my phone number. They can see probably my home address, and they can see exactly where I am calling from in real time. That is not true in every state in America. I'm not sure if that's true in any state, honestly, because I've heard way too many stories of people calling for help, but they didn't know where they were. And by the time 911 or the police or paramedics found them, it was too late. But at least it sounds like we're getting some kind of an update as to what actually happened. And thank goodness they took her to the hospital, because that's 100% where this woman needed to be. Whatever is going on, she needs medical attention and help.
At the hospital, Emily remained under medical care for 8 days.
That's a
Reports
lot.
suggest she underwent mental health evaluations during this period, though specific details were not disclosed.
Nor should they
It is
be.
also possible she was treated for injuries sustained during the incident, but no mention of this was made. Upon completing her hospital stay, officers arrived to transport her to the Scott County Jail. During the transfer process, officers ensured all her belongings, including her medication and personal items, were accounted for. Jail staff were informed about her medical needs, and her phone was secured to allow her access to important contact numbers. Officers followed standard procedure, placing her in handcuffs for transport, though they ensured she was as comfortable as possible by cuffing her hands in front.
That was nice of them. Okay, I probably should have skipped that, but
Alright, I'm gonna give the hospital a call, let them know what's going on, and let them know when we're gonna be there, okay?
Oh, you're riding in the rig with 995.
Emily, we're gonna get you inside here, okay?
No worries.
yeah, like she's seriously not okay. Okay, are we just gonna watch her like
You're in the hospital,
melt down
okay?
for 5 minutes? Because I'm not gonna watch that.
This one right here?
Yeah, right there.
Well, it's better to be in the front than in the back.
Or your mom.
Okay, and so this is her when she's leaving. Hopefully she was informed that she's going to be arrested.
Is that
Her
the
discharge papers are in here and the medicine.
Phone numbers in the bag.
You can take the phone out and just so you can pull numbers from there when we get there. You have them on a piece of paper.
Okay. So the staff's gonna have to search the bag anyway, so we'll let them know that your numbers are in there so they know to pull those to the side.
Okay,
So you have them for when you get down.
great, thank you.
We are gonna have to unfortunately place you in handcuffs. So if you're cool with us, we do it in front, that's perfectly fine. Put your hands together.
Okay, so she's getting agitated, which anyone would. I'm assuming this is a social worker that's with her.
Yeah, no, thank you. I'll let them know about the medicine, okay? Okay. Let's just do this real quick. I'll read her charge. So you have the eluding, failing to stop, stop sign, driving the wrong way, interference, assault on officers. Couple charges
Yeah,
of
so they
that.
went all the way.
The interference, criminal mischief, fourth, which is a misdemeanor. Okay. All these are misdemeanors. Okay. Yeah. You just kind of no. So it all depends if the judge, right?
Yeah, hopefully she can get a good lawyer.
You'll be able to tell your side. So you'll probably get a further date tomorrow.
Emily faced multiple charges as a result of her actions that night. These included eluding, failing to stop, driving incorrectly, interference, and criminal mischief in the 4th degree. She was also charged with assault on officers. However, 3 of the 4 assault charges were later dropped, and her remaining assault charge, along with the eluding and criminal mischief charges, was deferred. If you enjoyed this video,
That's what should have happened. Okay, so it sounds like there was a reasonably good outcome there. I'm going to take it as read that she had a good lawyer and that they made the case that she was obviously having a mental health crisis as well as possibly an adverse reaction to some medications. Because she certainly seems very different at the end of the video. Scared, yes, but still very different than she was acting that night. Like that night, she was borderline incoherent some of the time. So it sounds like the right outcome happened there. The courts recognized that, she is mentally ill and there are other factors contributing to her behavior. Not that I am ever saying that mental illness is a free pass to do whatever you want or injure people or drive like that. It is not, but it does need to be considered under the circumstances. So sounds like she's getting the help she needs, and thankfully that one came out okay. So let's break this down. I'm fairly certain the cop that we see most of the time is not the cop that ran into her, so I'm giving him an A+ with gold stars because he did not shoot her, and he absolutely could have. He would have been completely justified, even though she was inside the car. She was brandishing a weapon. He would have faced no consequences for ending her life. I have no doubt of that. He chose not to do that. That was good. The backing away, very good. So yeah, he's getting an A+ with gold stars. The cop who rammed into her after she was stopped, you're getting a fail. Because how dare you? How dare you? She was stopped. You didn't need to ram into her at all, let alone do it twice when she's visibly getting out of the car. Like that, I am tempted to say they should be fired and face charges of reckless endangerment for the second hit. Because they could have done serious damage. He could have, if he had missed the car and hit her instead, he could have killed her. You may say it's a little extreme, but it's certainly within the realm of possibility. So I hope that officer faces some disciplinary action because that is completely unacceptable. The rest of the cops I'm not going to award a grade to because they were kind of just standing around going, what happened? Because apparently the entire police force needed to turn out to this. As for the title, Angry Cop Loses It, yeah, I'll attribute that to the hitting the car. We didn't really get a lot of anger, though. They just kind of did it. Goes on crazy car chase with wild psycho woman. Yeah, it was definitely a crazy car chase, that's for sure. I don't like calling her a psycho. As for when caught, she acts dumb. What are you talking about? I'm sorry, she wasn't acting dumb. Did you not watch the video yourself? Because I didn't see her acting dumb at all. What I saw was somebody having a mental health breakdown who was not entirely aware of or in control of what they were doing or where they were. So she was not acting dumb. She was having a crisis. So the title is Clocking In at a C. But that will do it for this one. Interesting video, long one, but worth it. Lot to unpack there. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on, let's see, mental health treatment? The fact that 911 doesn't know where you are? How the police respond to mental health treatment? How unfair is it to the cops that they are more and more having to deal with mental health crises that they are not trained for. Not that this excuses when they handle things extremely badly, but it is, you got to remember they're not trained for this. So it does come into account. If you are new here, please like, comment, and subscribe, and leave your thoughts and any debates in the comments as always. Until the next one, I've been Insane Lane as well as a Canadian Girl, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.